Hello
That
and
was awesome.
welcome back to the Arsenal Alliance. I think this is our third or fourth episode. We're not keeping count on the episode count for this one.
No, no, no,
That's
no.
reserved for the Anton and Cal show. But introducing again another Jake.
Another Jake.
Who's-
The same
another
one,
Jake.
but another one.
Yeah, Jake from the Cup Chasers. Welcome, buddy. You're always here. And as we always say, Jake always messaged us personally when we were like I think it'd be a couple of months ago, and he wanted to be a part of the panel. And he's just been on here, so he's been a really, really awesome addition to the channel. So yeah, he's gonna be coming on a bit more regularly on the Arsenal Alliance. So big ups to him, and also big ups to my co-host Anton, who's been working a lot in the background, doing a lot of the graphics, the intros, and helping us do stuff for our pre-recorded content as well. So big ups to Anton for putting in the long hours as well. And also big up to the Arsenal. We're winning now, people. We're into the Carabao Cup final, our first final as a team. And we host Sunderland at home this weekend. And for me, personally, feels like barbecue chicken. Sunderland has one of the worst away records in the league, and we're kind of kicking on right now. And Clash of the Titans, City versus Liverpool. I honestly don't think City are going to do anything to Liverpool. I think it's barbecue chicken for City, Liverpool, but we will get into it. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good. By the way, we also have another guest coming on at some point. We hope hope to have Positive Dan from the Gunas Therapy as well join the show. So we'll try to give him as much time before we start getting into the really very, very biased content here. So
yeah,
but yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. How about you,
Speaking
Jake?
of biased content, man, I'm feeling fantastic, flying high. I'm having to keep the quad conversations. Like, guys, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. Let's.
You're not gonna like some of these segments today.
I'm like, yeah, let's go.
We got some uncomfortable conversations if you're a rival or wary later on in the show today, because we are giddy, and you only live once. Live in the moment. It's not every day you get to be in all competitions and smashing all competitions at this point. I'm like, honestly, Arsenal fans, Arteta's told his players to enjoy it. We really need to enjoy it as well. Let's just live in it and back the lads. And the first thing on our schedule, because we actually didn't get a time to we did a watch along on the game, me and Anton, which was probably it was our second time doing a watch along, and it was actually much better than the first time that we did it. Much more people came in, so we're really grateful for that. Really grateful for your comments during it. Big up to Nate the Guna and all those guys. But today we just wanted to do a little bit of a dissection on that the Carabao Cup game. What are your thoughts? What did you think? Do you like our approach? Do you think that our approach should be used moving forward? And what do you think does this Carabao Cup means to us, not only the fans but the players, the club? So let's get into it. First off, Jake, because me and Anton kind of like we spoke on the terrace, and we've spoken during the watch along, where we actually haven't gotten your thoughts on the game. I'd love to get your thoughts on the Carabao Cup game that we played.
Yeah, so to answer one of those questions, I personally didn't really like our approach, but I understood it and expected it. Mikel Arteta's a game management type guy, and we're already winning the game. So if they're not going to attack us, if they're not going to give it a go, at the end of the game, I was left thinking, man, yeah, I probably would have wanted a little bit more attacking impetus in the first half, kind of like City did. Obviously, you don't want to drop off like City did, but that's a whole nother story. But at the end of the game, I'm sitting there thinking, man, Arteta's just laughing at everybody. He's just sitting there laughing at everybody, because the whole time Gary Neville are trying to tell him, attack, you gotta. And I was like, why? Like, he doesn't. So I'm kind of in that same boat where everybody's just asking, what? But I do think one thing that I'll mention, I was shocked right at the beginning of the game at how their formation set up both against the ball and with the ball. And I think so are we. in that first 10 minutes, it was like we were a little bit kind of like figuring them out, and it was so much side to side and back and forth possession that I was like, we have to just be trying to figure them out here, you know. And as we settled into the game, I was like, they're not going to change. They're not going to.
Yeah, actually, you know, you say that. I think there was a Declan Rice interview, and he did say that, you know, they did approach the game when they started differently than they were expecting, you know, in his interview, because no one was expecting, you know, back five Chelsea. But to be honest with you, when I saw the back five, I was kind of scared because I was thinking to myself, oh, these guys are going to play us like Forest. They're going to do the underdog thing, because I know that we have trouble breaking low blocks at times. And I thought that the entire approach of the game was frustrate them, just 10 men behind the ball, try to beat them on the counter, and maybe do something special in the second half and surprise them. That's what I thought the strategy was. But it seemed like the strategy was stay in a low block for the entire game with a 1-goal deficit. It was bizarre. So me and Anton were having like arguments during the watch along, because I was like, dude, why aren't we attacking? Anton's like, I don't care about these guys. They're not going to do anything. Anton was right. But because I was I was analyzing the game, and I was trying to like almost like predict, and I gave, you know, Rossinia the benefit of the doubt, and I thought that he was actually had like a solid game plan, but he was literally just a coward. It was a saving face exercise for him, and you know, in the end, they couldn't even save face because Waka Waka AA scored at the end, which was absolutely amazing to actually like break their hearts and crush them, you know, because
Love it.
I don't know about you guys, but honestly, I think Chelsea are the club I probably hate the most in the Prem. If I were to rank them, Chelsea is number one.
Same,
I don't live.
actually.
I don't live in London, so I don't live next to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I don't really have that sort of hatred. For me, Tottenham are nothing. They're a nothing club. So for me, Chelsea being the actual rivals, and the fact that they say, you know, shit like, you know, we're the biggest club in London, you know, where are your European trophies? Sit on the floor. You have the same amount
Esteval's
of
better than Saka.
oh, Jesus Christ. Caicedo's better than
We
Rice.
know the man
Enzo's better
very
than
personally
Rice.
who started off that agenda, the Esteval versus Saka one. So
Yeah, homie winds me up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so so Chelsea, I do hate Chelsea the most. So beating Chelsea is always it just warms my heart. It just warms my heart. Now, like Anton, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, my thoughts were very clear on the day, and my thoughts have not changed now. Clearly, because it ended up in our favor. But look, I always felt at the start of the game, no matter what Gary Neville says, it was on Chelsea to chase the game. They were the ones who were behind in the tie. We didn't need to do anything. Literally, we are the most structured. We are the best defensively of any team across all of the big leagues in all world football right now. And that was always going to play to our strength. I think it's a little bit of a template, actually, moving forward when we play in the Champions League, which is, really maybe go at it in that first leg away from home and almost make the task for the other team very daunting, to have to come to the Emirates, to have to overturn us, the best defense in Europe. And Chelsea were cowardly. That's one thing that I would say in the retrospect to this game, because it's, when you're watching the game and everything's still at stake, you don't really think about it in those terms. But for them to start off with a back five, for them to be the team that needed to come out and Stacey to score, they were done, right? They needed at least one, if not two, and they couldn't even give us a zilch. They had 2 shots from outside the box from Enzo, and that is literally all they got throughout the entirety of the 90 minutes. They pretended to push for the game in the second half when they made those 2 changes to bring on Palmer and Garnacho, but they didn't really do anything. Like, they didn't really offer us a threat. And the fact that like it was us who eventually scored just tells you all you need to know about these two clubs in terms of how they approached this tie. And I think over the two legs, they had two kind of consolation goals where we kind of fell asleep napping at their ground from Garnacho. Besides that, like I felt that we were completely in control of this tie throughout the 180 minutes of it. So yeah, I am thrilled, and as I kept saying throughout the watch along, these guys aren't doing anything today. And you know why I knew they were doing anything today? Because that was the intentions that they came into the game with. It was almost as if they overthought the task when the task should have been straightforward of let's throw all the kitchen sink at this game to see if we can get anything out of it. And they brought us a mini fridge. So
I certainly thought that maybe it's a little more nuanced than that. Yeah. Cause maybe they expected us to come at them. And with the initial approach, maybe it's not necessarily cowardly, but the way they didn't react to it certainly is. The way after that first 10 minutes where we were just happy to have the ball, period, full stop, wherever it was, they should have been like, all right, tactics out the window, because also they got it way wrong after they tried to adjust because they were just hitting it long to lap. So when they had the ball, it kind of looked like a 4-3-3, but Cucurella was your left forward and Enzo was getting lost in the pocket. And because Enzo Fernandez was not behind Liam Delap, and that's where all of their long balls were going, Rice was eating up the second balls all day long.
Yeah.
So even their tactical adjustment to the fact that we were not going for it we got that way wrong too. So it's like from start to finish, even yelling at the goalkeeper coach going onto their side of the field, like it was a poor night for them. Totally. Yeah. But I think they need to admit that they can't pass through the lines as well as they think they can.
Not through us, at least, because we had to put up with hearing that Chelsea's midfield is better than our midfield for years, even though every time we play them in the head-to-head, your best versus my best, they fail consistently every single time. Guess what? Caicedo was there today. Palmer was there today. They did nothing. I'm actually sick to death of hearing about these players, these overrated players. They tried to play through the lines. Guess who's there to stop them? Declan Rice. They can't
the
deal.
Real best midfielder on form right now in the world.
Yeah. So they can't stop him. And honestly, I think that for this game for me, it wasn't just about. I love the fact that it was against Chelsea because I really felt like this was a kind of once and for all statement in terms of no, we are better than you, even when you do the underdog gimmick and you put 10 men behind the ball and you try and do something against us on the counter. Tactically, you're inferior, and for man, you're also inferior. Because what did Caicedo do? Nothing. And I don't want to hear it's because of the manager or anything like that. In games like this, the best players perform. We demand the same thing from our own players. We demand the same thing from when we don't win a game, we make our players accountable. We say, where was Odegaard? Where was Saka? Where was Rice? Where were other guys? So I'm not hearing anything about Caicedo or Enzo or any of these guys. And you guys are a really good top 4 team. Big ups to you, but we're gonna be champions at the end of the season, and we've been challenging for 3 years. You just don't belong in these conversations. So I just love the fact that it was against Chelsea, honestly. Now, getting into the second part of this entire discussion is what I wanted to ask is, what does this Carabao Cup mean? What does this final mean? What do you think it means actually? And what are your predictions? Jake?
I think, as we know, the prize money is less than a third of Kai Havertz's weekly salary, so doesn't matter. But really? I think
that's
the prize money is $100,000. To win the tournament, it's $100K
for clubs who spend that amount of money on players.
No, that's what it is.
Someone needs to buy the sponsor. Someone needs to buy it. If someone buys it and
I mean, it's an
renames
energy
it.
drink. I mean, maybe Red Bull will upgrade it. We'll call it the
Like
Red
if Red
Bull
Bull
Cup.
buys it and gives it like a cool like 20-50 million for the win, I think that people would love that.
That would be crazy, man, right? Like, because if Cardiff or somebody went off and won it, or that'd be nuts, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that it has massive, massive importance this season and for this group. You know, I've often wondered what it's going to take to, when you haven't got that winning feeling, when you haven't got it over the line, when you haven't actually walked up the steps at Wembley and seen Martin Odegaard lifting the trophy, when you haven't actually done that, there's a bridge, a gap to be bridged. And I've often wondered, you know, because I think it's a mental thing, and I think that we have slowly but surely gotten there over the years, and because of the experiences that we have had, and having this one, especially beating Man City, because the way the league's looking and the way they're playing right now and the way Pep's moving in the press conferences, you know, they're hanging by a thread. And if we go and beat them in the final and lift the cup on their head top, we may very well be double-digit points ahead when we go to the Etihad at that point, and their soul is just gone. And I think winning the Carabao Cup over City, it's going to be amazing for our players, this group, to finally get one over the line, but also it's going to put their mentality in a coffin.
Yeah. Look, to me, this is, I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of finally getting that trophy, that first trophy, getting that taste of what it means to get something over the line, to lift the silverware. I think it's a big first step in what I think could be a very fruitful, not just season, but era for Arsenal. I think we've been building up towards this for a very long time, not towards the Carabao Cup, obviously. We've got bigger goals. But yeah, the fact that it is Manchester City, I think I've been thinking about this over the last couple of days since this match has been set, and it's sort of, in terms of our story, in terms of how this Arsenal thing has gone, it is kind of like the perfect opponent, the perfect villain, so to say, for this matchup. It's been the team that's been standing in our way for all these years, and it's not even just beating anybody to win this cup. I think it's beating them to win this cup. Given that, again, as Jake said, that they are the main rivals for us in the league again this year, I think it would give us a tremendous mental edge. I also do think, kind of on the other side of it, though, if we were to then not be able to beat them again and to be like, oh, damn it, City always get it over us, don't they? You know, like, that's when you're going to start to think like, but
I disagree, by the way.
Look, I want to hear about it then. Tell me.
Even like, say, I first of all, I believe City are the perfect opponents in this final. I actually would hand pick City in this final against for us. Other than like maybe a League One team or something, just to get it. But
Just
like,
to give me
in terms of Premier League teams, I would hand pick City, because I feel like, first of all, the players are just going to be up for it. We're just like there is a fierce rivalry between our clubs at the moment. There's a hatred between us that just wasn't there between Liverpool and Manchester City, because let's face it, we just don't like each other. You can see on the pitch, you can see it in the media, the way people say things, the way Rodri was rattled after we
stay humble, eh?
Yeah, the stay humble, you know, the whole Rodri after when we drew in the 23-24 season at the Etihad, he said, you know, he's saying, the reason why you're not going to win is because you didn't come out and open up your legs, you know. So like, they're extremely salty, you know, and I think our players, we don't like them, you know. So I feel like, because it's them, we're gonna see like a fierceness that, you know, that's just gonna push us over the line. And honestly, even if for some reason, because it is a football game, we don't end up winning that Carabao Cup final, that pain will spur us on to do well in the other competitions, because at the end of the day, it's our first final and we need that experience, win or lose. We need to know what it's like to be in a final. And I just love it that, man, like I really hope that we make the Champions League final this year. I would really hate for the Champions League final to be the first final that these boys find themselves in. Like
Yeah.
your
I think
first
you mentioned that
final
last time,
as a
yeah.
team, like your first final as a team is the biggest
It's
final
the biggest
in
final
football.
possible. Yeah.
Like the only final bigger than the Champions League final is the World Cup final. Literally. For
I
clubs, it's
disagree.
the biggest final.
I disagree. Champions League's harder to win, in my opinion.
Oh, because the World Cup's every 4 years, man.
It's a diff. I hear that. It's
You know?
but World Cup is so different. It's just
It
so
is.
different than club
It is.
ball.
It's also only got
Yeah.
3 group games in the World Cup.
Yeah, America
So-
does crazy stuff.
I'm
man.
just
We're-
talking about like the one-off final.
Oh yeah, okay,
So-
yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a great experience for this. We're going to see them see what they're capable of. And man, if we get that over the line, I think it would actually completely crush City. I don't want them to get a single trophy this season. I want Pep
No.
Guardiola to leave here with nothing at the end of this season. So yeah.
Yeah, I want to deny them at every single corner. Like
I was
to be
gonna say
honest.
I wouldn't mind seeing them in all of it. It's
No,
fine.
I don't. To be fair, to play them 4 times in 3 weeks would be absolute insanity,
Would
and
be
I
nuts.
don't want that. No,
That'd be
like,
nuts. Yeah.
I said this to Cal. First of all, I actually think that Real Madrid, if they get past Benfica, they've always caused City problems, regardless of
And you know UEFA's gonna do
where
that on
level they're
purpose.
at. Right, obviously. So there's that in
I would
the way
much
they
rather
play.
face Madrid than City in the
But the other thing is that the other side of the draw could be Sporting Lisbon, and for me, that's the opponent I want to see.
Oh
Not
yeah,
just because
hell
it's an
yeah.
easier team, but because a certain number 14 is going to be really, really pumped to go ahead and beat that team, considering how they treated him on the way out.
I haven't forgotten that half field goal though either. I haven't forgotten that. Yeah, it was Europa League, but I hadn't forgotten.
Dude, that was just disgusting.
I haven't forgotten that. Yeah,
was-
disgusting is
Yeah,
the word.
so-
That is the word.
Yeah, look, in all honesty, it's nice to come up and have big chest in terms of talking about Man City, but they still are a very, very good team, and if we were to beat them 4 times in 3 weeks, I kind of find that hard to believe that we would do that regardless of what level we're on.
We didn't need to beat them 4 times. We just need to beat them twice.
What do you mean?
Well, once in the
beat them
FA
in the
Cup
final.
and
Beat them.
Yeah,
them
our
in
final.
The final. Then draw away and then beat them at home.
And then what about in the league?
well, then the league game and then the FA Cup game. If we play them there too, there's
Oh my
opportunity.
God, don't do this to me.
Ample
Don't do this to me,
opportunity.
Jake. Don't give me 6 times playing Man City in one season.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Pep would leave the league with a tail between his legs if we beat him 6 times in a season, or 5 times. I guess we've already played him
Already
once.
drawn.
If we beat them
Yeah.
5 times in a season, that would be like the sweetest way to cap our first title.
But hey, man, to win that Champions League, you have to beat the best around to be the best
Yeah.
around.
We will.
Yeah.
We will. By the way, I mean, I have a feeling like that from the other side of the draw. Obviously, it's good enough to play Bayern until the end. But if we had to end up having to play them in a final, in Budapest, I think that would be a tremendous test for Arsenal. I know we beat them earlier on in the season, but it's a different thing with the cup final. Bayern is a club that's got a history of winning Champions Leagues and knowing what it's like to get over the line in that competition. So that would not be the Champions League for me.
I'd still
that's
rather
one-
play them than Liverpool, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah, Anfield away in a Champions League night would be.
I just
be
want to
asked.
see. I just want to see Liverpool end up on the other side of the draw as well. To be honest,
I just
Like,
want to see Liverpool get eliminated as quickly as possible. I just don't want to face
I'm
them.
hopeful though, especially. I mean, Anton, you mentioned it about the approach to the second leg in the Carabao Cup here. I obviously, we're not gonna. If we go 3-2 up on say Madrid or Liverpool, and then they come back to our place down 3-2, we're not gonna see that. It's not gonna be that game. They're not gonna not come for it. So
Yeah.
it'll definitely be different, and that's why it's intriguing.
with
It's
Liverpool, I gotta tell you, they haven't come for it either time that we played them this year.
Yeah,
But
but-
they
but-
haven't
but-
didn't score a single goal in
A
this game.
Champions League quarterfinal isn't the league.
Yeah, and not only that,
Right.
we didn't score a single goal, so they never had to try and make a comeback. We were
Mm.
never up. We don't know what that's like. We don't know what they're gonna do if
Yeah.
they.
I'm just saying, like, I really hope that because the opponent will be different, Arteta's approach will be far different as well. You know, I hope that if we are playing Paris at home with a 3-2 lead, that we don't try to do nothing and hope they do nothing.
Yeah.
Mm.
We're getting a little sidetracked here. Talking about the
Just a little bit.
No, I think. Look, I think
the
it's
Champions
all.
League.
I think it's all part of the conversation, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess it is a part of
there's
the
a lot
conversation.
of very tasty things coming up. This next, well, what I hope is 27 games, including this game against Sunderland, for me are all going to be just very, very interesting. I want to throw a question at Jake because I watch your content too now, of course, and I saw your short saying you say it's impossible for teams to go at it on all fronts. With 20, I was actually breaking it down, and we're going to have a similar topic later on. We'll talk about it from the Arsenal perspective. But I was looking at our schedule throughout February, March, April, May. We've got 6 games in February. One of them already played. 7 in March, 8 in April, 7 in May. That's saying that we get to the final of both the Champions League and the FA Cup.
That's a good split.
So that, we've had more busy months. December had, I believe, 9 games.
It's on aggregate though. That's the problem, eh? It's the fact that it's every month, so you don't get that break. I personally feel we're going to sacrifice
you
the
also
FA
get
Cup.
international break inside there as well.
But that's a later conversation though.
Well, the thing about that short was it was about the fact that you have to rotate. You 100% have to rotate, and it's not. And the point is, you're not going to see the same 13 guys win 4 competitions. There's a reason.
Wait,
it's never.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm going to
Yeah.
put a pin in this conversation right now. This is one of my talking points.
Yeah.
It's one of my topics for later on. We're not skipping ahead 2 topics.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I just wanted to ask Jake about his. I've been literally waiting a few days since I've seen this to ask Jake to elaborate further on his.
Well,
short.
you will be able
Jake,
to.
By the way, you gotta say
a little later.
I gotta say while we got Jake on here, go check out the Cup Chasers. By the way, check out his content as well on social media because he makes some great content. He's always your personality and the fire you have in your eyes when you record some of those videos is actually like peak. I absolutely love that. So yeah, but go check out Jake's stuff. But yeah, I appreciate that. He gives a lot of food for thought in the type of the things that you say in your content, man. So I was really, really wanting to ask you that question. So
yeah, well, I mean, essentially, it's it's about being able to have. I mean, we got the big squad now, so we'll get into it, of course. But I think that moving forward, for me, I want to win the league, and if the rest of it falls away, the rest of it falls away. But for F's sake, give me the league.
Right. Yeah, that's like honestly, yeah, that league is so important. But it'll be really nice to pick up a Carabao Cup in the league.
Oh yeah.
What do we think about Pep trying to get Gahey into the final through the back door? Like, what is your opinion on that, Cal?
I mean, that was pretty fraudulent on his part. He's a massive fraud. If any other managers did that, and I said this on the terrace because I was pretty annoyed about how people just give this guy a pass and everything he does or says. Like the rules are the rules. We signed a keeper that was cup tied, and we didn't even know he was cup tied. He played 1 game, and we had to deal with that. We just had to hold that shit last season. So, with all due respect, going into the season, you knew what the rules were. It already got changed in your favor before the season started because you're the only person to spend big in the January transfer window. Not even Chelsea is spending that big in January.
No, Chelsea just rotate players from Strasbourg and back. That's all they did in the transfer window.
So
I mean, Anton Semenyo is the only player to be knocked out of the League Cup and also play in the final.
Yeah, I feel I honestly, in my honest opinion, I think the rule should be if a player gets knocked out of a competition, they should not be able to play for another team in that same competition.
So you're saying that if Bournemouth was still in, let's say, in the semi-final stage at the time when he was able to play that
No, because then they would have to play against his own team. No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
No.
Yeah.
I think there should be a more.
We fucking knocked Mark Gahey out of the cup ourselves. It would be so fucking weird.
Exactly.
For him to be in the
but that's the bullshit. Because I feel like as a player, if you lose in a competition, you don't get a second shot in the same year. That's how no one's even talking about that. You lost. You got knocked out of the competition. You should not be able to come back. Like if Semenyo never played for Bournemouth in the competition, but his team did, and you want to say, oh, another team bought him and he gets to play now, then I'd be like, that makes sense. He never even played. But the fact that you got knocked out and you just get to go, yep, here I am again. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that
does it say more about Pep's fear of us? Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah, it is. He's deathly afraid. I think he knows what's coming. And to be honest with you, whether he was there or not, I don't think that it was going to make. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it might make a little bit of a difference just because they have a couple bozos in the back. But we've had to deal with that already, and we've had the injury problems like last season, and we got told, to stop complaining, to deal with it, and we stopped complaining. We dealt with it. So we went out in the summer. We got all the backups that we needed. We went and we addressed everything that we wanted. We've had injuries this season. We've had periods in the season where both our centre backs were out. I'll bet like the two number one and number two in terms of centre backs in the world were out for a couple of weeks, and we still went out there and won the games, because of our squad depth. So, like Manchester City, I don't feel sorry for you, and the rules are the rules.
Yeah,
agreed.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous that he wants to change
the rules. By the way, he's so sly. Did you actually see his interview? It was literally right after the Newcastle game, and he's sitting there. He's like, "Well, hopefully we can get Mark to come to play for that game as well, because obviously, for all fairness or something like along those lines." And I'm like,
"Nah,
what the fuck, dude? Like, honestly, Mark is out. We fucking knocked Mark out. That's the biggest part that gets me knocked. Like, it's like we fucking beat you. In any other sport, if like for instance we are in a UFC competition and I knocked you the fuck out myself, you're not allowed to come back and be my opponent in the final.
That's not how it works. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I think it's interesting though, the number of kind of off the wall things Pep is saying, because Ollie Glasner started saying a bunch of crazy stuff, and now look at his situation. And Amorim started saying a bunch of crazy stuff, and you know what happened to him. And Maresca started mouthing off, and look what happened to him. And I know that Pep's the darling and everything, but you were saying it earlier. How many of these crazy things is his credit in the bank given?
Infinite number, I'm guessing. Even Rodri. I'm surprised Rodri wasn't fined for his comments saying that the referees are corrupt and they should be partial. And they don't want him to win. Yeah, and they don't want him to win, but everyone seems to give.
Oh, if Arteta said something like that,
crucified.
If Sky, what's his name? Jamie O'Hara would have gotten behind the mic at Talk Sport and would have been like, "This guy's a fucking absolutely fucking disgrace." You know what I mean? Like, he thinks that he can get, to get a player who should be cup tied to play in the final. What an absolute coward! Blah blah blah. Like nothing. Crickets. The only person who's criticized him for it, and big ups to our main man Terry Flores, who's been all over this shit.
Oh, Mo as well.
Nobody's saying anything.
Mo as well. Mo's not letting it go, which
Footy Judge Mo's cool too. I like him as well.
He's not letting it go
for sure.
Just continuing on the Carabao Cup final. I just wanted to get you guys predictions for the game. Jake, how do you think that? I know it's
cup final. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Carabao Cup final. What?
I mean, it's a good ways away. Of course, it's like a month.
Yeah, it's a while,
Yeah,
but
that's why.
it's,
That's
it's
why
fun.
I was
It's
like,
it's fun. It's fun to do these predictions now, and then we'll visit to what the team's looking like at the time and see if that's changed, if he's completely lost confidence in the team,
just have
or
some sort of
if
injury. Be
he.
like, there's no way we're winning this final. You know, like,
We can come back. We can come back to this, but right now, man, yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. Obviously, it's a one-off. It's kind of form will probably go out the window anyway. But for a bunch of the reasons we were talking about earlier, I think that it's going to be such a massive opportunity, and I think that Arteta is going to have them in the right mindset. He's going to give one of those, this is a final. Yes, we want to win it. Yes, there's pressure, but hey, this is why we love this game. Is this kind of game, is knockout championship football. That's what we love to do. That's why we've trained our whole lives. Go out there and have fun and win that game. I think that's kind of going to be the approach from Arteta, and I agree with it. And I think that's
the Johan Cruyff approach, eh? That's what he told his boys.
It's going to resonate. I think it's going to resonate, and I think
that's what he told Barcelona before they.
It's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough match. It's going to be a tough match, no doubt. But I think we're going to win it. It's going to be low scoring. I'm thinking 2-0, 2-1, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we'll blitz them, but I do think we'll get it over the line.
I think the fact that it's Pep and Arteta, that they're such familiarity with each other and they just don't want to lose to each other. Like I think we've learned enough from watching these two teams play over recent years that it's going to be cagey as fuck. So, by the way, everyone, watch out for this narrative. Everybody's going to kind of try to tell you before the game that it's going to be fireworks and two best teams in the country. It's going to be expect goals, goals, and goals, but it's going to be a stink fest in the end, and then the people are going to blame our club for that.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like it might be a 2-1 or a 1-0 to us. The other side to it is that I do kind of feel that if Mark Gahey doesn't play, and I fully expect him not to play.
No, they've already
calmed down. It's already.
Yeah. They've already
been denied.
They came out and said that he's not coming, so he's definitely not playing.
He's not playing. Yeah.
Then I think that we have a lot more solidity on the defensive side, regardless of the fact that they may have weapons like Erling Haaland, weapons like Antoine Semenyo, like Shirky, who's been really, really good as of late, like Phil Foden. Our defense, our solidity is much stronger than theirs. Even in midfield, Rodri seems like he kind of lost the legs. He seems a bit tired. Reinders hasn't really given them the solidity that they would hope that he would. In fact, they've actually, in games that they're looking to defend, they actually don't play Reinders at all. They more like to go with what's his face?
Nico Gonzalez or Nico O'Reilly. One of the two, yeah.
Yeah, so I just think they're struggling for stability at all, and we have that in spades. And we still have great attackers who are going to be willing to step up to the moment, step up to the plate at the times. And I think they're a little bit susceptible to even our players who have struggled to break some low blocks down in the past. This case, by the way, when they came to the Emirates, they sat in a low block with Diaz, Gvardiol, and John Stones all playing in that game. Like in this one, it'll be Max Alain and Kuzanov.
Yeah.
I don't think, regardless, they can sit 11 men behind the ball.
Ruben Diaz should be back.
Diaz will be back. But here's the thing about it. If they, and I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, because the fact that Pep is still playing an Ange Postecoglou high line is got my brain cooked.
He won't do it to us. He won't do it against us.
That's what I'm thinking. I keep waiting for him to stop doing that, right? And if he doesn't, though, I think all we got to do is more vertical passing through the lines. Runs from deep, high lines, and
Pep is going to galaxy brain this game. I don't think he's going to do a deep block like he did the first time. And I think because he's already used that trick to surprise us, because that's what he did. He surprised us. You're not going to get us twice, buddy. So we're going to be ready for anything by the time we get to play them again. We're going to be ready for the deep block, or whether he goes in and goes in harm from the start. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to go and ham from the very start, get a goal, and then just sit back for the rest of the game.
About it, I think both tactics suit us well. Thinking about it either way, if
Because
they
we're just
go
better than
at
them
it
right
and
now.
they play the Ange Postecoglou no high line, Arsenal's player of the month might actually, in my like I've always kind of written up in the dreams, might deliver us our first trophy. That's right. I'm talking about Gyökeres for all those who didn't realize he did win player of the month. Just want to slide that one in there. But the other part about it is yeah, I just think that we would absolutely kill them on the counterattack. On the other side of it, I just think about the other day against Chelsea. You know, I think it's one of those games where we can take the body blows, frustrate them, and then, you know, we'll end up with a goal from on the other side eventually on the break, because the longer the game goes and both of us are playing cowardly, eventually somebody is going to like break a gasket and lose patience and then go for it. And I feel like Pep of the two would be the more likely to go ahead and do that than Arteta, because I know Arteta well. He is well drilled in not getting too desperate in those situations. He's more than happy to be as patient as possible in our defensive shape.
That's
and
for sure.
Pep, for me, is, as you can see, as he's played in recent games, by that evidence, he would be more likely to crack first. And in that case, I think we might have something going the other way at that point eventually. I just think the game is well suited to us, to be honest. And who knows what the points gap is between us and Man City by the time we play that game as well, which could be another interesting element to that. And they also, by the way, could be in the middle of playing a two-legged tie against Real Madrid around that period of time as well. So
what's your scoreline prediction?
Yeah, I'd say, actually, you know what? I'd say 1-0 Arsenal. 1-0 or 2-0? 2-0 Arsenal. I'll up one more. 2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a 3-1. I think.
Oh, wow.
I think we score off a set piece. Then they open up, and then we score. But I do think they probably score in a counter attack. Once. But I do think that I think we're gonna dominate them. I have a feeling that we're just gonna beat them. Because I just rate our players. I think we're just too assured of ourselves, and we also need to remember that a lot of our players have been to finals before, so it wouldn't be their first final. It's just their first final as a team. Zubimendi has won, big finals. He's been to finals, and he scores in finals as well. Saka's been in finals.
Declan Rice has won a final.
So these guys have all kind of won stuff. Individually, it just needs to kind of come together. So
I actually watched the West Ham over Fiorentina when Declan Rice was the captain. I actually watched that game.
Oh, really?
When he won his final.
Yeah.
That's been 3 or 4 years now.
I think.
Our record at Wembley is tremendous, by the way.
I think 13 wins and 14 goals.
We only lost one time at Wembley, I think, since 2014. And that was to Man City in the Carabao Cup final.
I think in total, in our last 15, we've won 14 times.
We have beat City at Wembley before, and Mikel Arteta himself
twice.
Mikel Arteta himself in that semifinal.
Remember, the semifinal. We also beat them in the Czech Community Shield. Which
yeah.
Wembley games. I'm not talking about trophies. So
but it was at Wembley.
I'm saying at Wembley games. I think we're 2-1 against Man City in Wembley games.
I mean, Wembley is like, of all the clubs in England, is the Arsenal's home away from home. Like
we're the closest.
Didn't we play there during World War II?
I don't know actually.
When Highbury was it was using it as a camp.
At some point. Yeah,
they were using it as or it was like a reconstruction period or something at some point. And we were allowed to play at Wembley for like 2 seasons or something. I can't remember when that was.
I believe
history.
I can ask my dad about that. My dad was a Highbury season ticket holder around that time. No, not World War II. Sorry,
not World War II, but like
people don't realize this about me. They hear my American accent, but we've been season ticket holders since like my grandfather. Yeah, my grandpa Cyril used to be season ticket holder all the way back. In ages ago.
Where are you from originally?
So my dad's from London. He grew up in Hendon, and my mom is from LA. So
okay, sure.
Yeah. But so Yeah, I was gonna ask my dad if about that fact about the Wembley thing. It'd be interesting. I would love to have my dad on this show one time. He's so camera shy.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, nobody knows more about I talk about my dad off camera about Arsenal all the time, even this version. Like honestly, my dad is the most balanced Arsenal fan you will ever see. Like he will like I asked him like, Dad, what are your feelings before the game? And he goes, to be honest, I have a bad feeling about this one today, you know. And then goes to the games that we drop. I'm like,
and it's a Forest game.
yeah. I had it out with my dad. I'm like, well, you don't think we're going to beat Nottingham Forest? He goes, it's a very tough ground to go and win there. You know, Man City.
Has he been there?
Yeah, I imagine years ago.
Sure.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I always go to my dad for that type of stuff. That's where my Ellie, my brother gets it from my dad. Me, I guess I'm more like my mom, which I like to just yell at the wall and make massive predictions. So.
No, it's definitely on my bucket list to get over there and visit some of the classic stadiums of the league. You know, I've been following this league for it seems like forever now, so only makes sense, right?
Yeah, It would be. Yeah, it could be. I really hope, man, that I was talking about this with a positive Dan who I don't know. I feel like he's fallen asleep. Because it is like 11 o'clock at night there. But anyway, I was talking about him last night about just that's off the top.
Yeah,
I was talking about it last night, and I was saying we were both saying like, look, we've been saying this from the beginning that Arsenal were going to have an amazing season, and I was like, to be honest, when I saw Eze interviewing Ian Wright and the vibes I got off of that, I'm like, something magical is happening this year. I kind of felt it from then. And I'm just like,
and to be honest, going into the season,
himself as an individual, it's the vibes, it's the camaraderie, the love, the maturity that we have within this playing group. Like it just feels like we have people who are now, they've been through the wars. Eze, of course, hasn't been through the wars with Arsenal, but there's a maturity about us now. Like, and yeah, well, like Declan was saying. In his post-match on CBS, this is a team we've seen ourselves, fail to get over the line so many times, but we've learned from that. We've grown more hungry from that. And I just do feel like this Man City team is a team that has been privileged in some sort of way. They're not used to losing. They're not used to this sort of adversity. And I think that's something that we can play to our strengths. They've won this cup many, many, many times. I feel like we need to.
Most of those guys aren't there. Hungry. It's not the same team.
No, but the manager,
the manager has, but like most of those guys just aren't the guys. Like who the hell's Cherky?
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell you.
What I'm saying? Like these guys haven't done anything. Yeah, like Foden was always one of the guys. He's not the guy. He's not Kevin De Bruyne. Rodri's a shell. Rodri's like a shell of himself. Not no fault of his own, but he's just not there.
Rodri just has to accept that he's old, and 2 ACLs have made him even older. It is what it is.
Haaland's form has been absolutely horrendous because he doesn't have many people creating for him.
Well,
they signed Semenyo.
Did you watch my under pressure take, by the way?
Yeah.
He's got 2 goals in 11. Actually, make that 11 matches. 2 goals in 11 matches since the start of 2026.
Yeah, it's like, they got Semenyo, and Semenyo is not a creator. He's a goal scorer, so he's just gonna score the same goals maybe Haaland was gonna score anyway. So yeah, just moving on to the next topic. We're gonna be previewing the Sunderland game, which is I think it's barbecue chicken, but I want to get you guys' results, and also the Man City versus Liverpool
your prediction
game.
From this morning. I'm going to listen to you, Cal. You've become
Dude,
after one
game.
One game.
What have y'all flipped? Have y'all flip flopped as far as opinions? Right now, Cal's super positive, and Anton, you're giving the
what? Because I picked 5 draws in the
yeah.
It comes to be honest, when it comes to betting, I like to kind of be as honest as I can and be a little bit safer. just because when it comes to money, like versus when I talk behind a
To be
camera.
honest, draws aren't safe though. Draws are like the
I
hardest.
literally never bet. I'm a DJ and gambler, right? So I'm with you, but I never, ever, ever, ever bet draw ever. If it's gonna be a draw, just put both teams to score, or or figure something out. If you think it's gonna be nil, if you think it's gonna be 0-0, bet the under. If you think it's gonna be 0-0, bet the under. But don't do a draw, man. That's so like. I can never predict when it's going to actually be a draw. It feels like it's and then it's not fun to watch because you don't want anybody to do good. You want it to be a stink fest.
Well,
unless it's like
in the NFL, I know this because I've learned this the hard way, right? There was one of the games, it ended up in a tie, which is very, very rare in the NFL, right?
So rare, yeah.
But they don't have that as an option in the betting thing. I actually got my whole money refunded. Like they didn't even lose anything. Yeah.
Sure.
Because it's not an option. So
okay, so they just pushed it.
Yeah, but which is why I kind of always gonna go like if there's a chance for there to be a draw, if I feel in my heart it's gonna be a draw, why not say it? Like, and I'm sure that of the other 4 games that I said would be a draw, that at least one is gonna pay off.
Yeah, you think?
If you think it's a draw, you also could just double chance the underdog. Yeah. So just bet that it's a tie or a win for the whoever you think's going might win. So whoever you think's a better team, just bet double chance for them, because if they draw, you still win, and if you,
but yeah, as I was trying to introduce the next topic, which was
Sunderland,
and City versus Liverpool. What can this mean for the title race, depending on the results?
By the way, I did in the poll. By the way, just so everybody is aware, because it is on this topic. So in the poll, the question has been. If Arsenal win and Liverpool win, do we believe City's title push is done? At the moment, 67% of the vote says yes. So that's the question. We'll reveal the answer to the poll at the end of the show.
Yeah. So So Jake, what are your thoughts on the Sunderland game? What do you think is going to happen?
So I definitely don't think it's going to be barbecued black cats, as you've said, and I think a lot of people who are getting excited about, it could be a 9-point gap, we definitely cannot overlook this game. This is not a given, and yes, Sunderland's away form is stinky, very smelly, and I'm expecting to see the stinkiest of smelliest of low blocks. But Brian Brobby is a threat. I've watched a number of Sunderland games this season, and I don't think Xhaka is going to be there, so that's a plus for us. But his replacement, Siddiqui, is very capable in there.
Gertruda almost was a Liverpool player. He's good.
Mm-hmm. Enzo Lefebvre is probably one of their main guys in there, and Brian Brobby is he's not going to give a hoot that we got the best 2 center backs around. He's going to elbow him. He's going to battle. He's going to hustle. He's going to harry. He's going to be annoying. And as you guys are probably aware, I'm sure you are, the main point of our press is to make the keeper hit it long. And we have to battle very, very well. And we did so against Chelsea, I thought, winning the second balls. But Chelsea never had anyone battling with us. If they have Enzo Lefebvre and another player underneath Brobby to win those second balls, we have to be very, very careful. So I think that, as far as our strategy against the ball, we're going to have to be locked in, because they are especially when they get it down and play quick, they can play very well as well.
Question I've got for you, Jake, based off of what you were just saying, though. One thing I was really, really confused by when I was watching the final day of the transfer window was to wake up to see that Adingra was sent on loan to Monaco. They brought in Ecuadorian boy who I think is going to be able to maybe play his debut today in this one. But for me, Adingra was always, Talibi on the other side as well. But Adingra has always been that main threat in terms of speed when it comes to Sunderland. Do you think that's going to affect them at all in terms of his absence?
Honestly, it's a little surprising to me as well. I think Simon Adingra is a very good player. I thought he was good at Brighton, and I thought it was a fantastic signing. I was surprised that he was not first choice from the beginning of the season, and it wasn't until AFCON that he was first choice for a couple of games. And maybe he just wasn't favored by Labrie, and so he's gone on loan. That one confuses me, and yeah, I think it definitely takes away from their attack. I've only seen Talby a couple of times, but I mean, he seems young, more of a speed merchant. I think that it's interesting that they've done that, and we probably will see more of Talby and more of the new guy as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
when
I'm not sure
when we
about
watched
that one.
them, when we watched them play against Man City, for example, I thought, I mean, I know that game ended as a 0-0 draw, but I thought Adingra was the player that was always causing Man City a threat. One of the reasons why Man City didn't really kind of go all for it in that one is because their defense was featuring, Elaine and Kuzanov. And the second part of that is that they didn't want to allow space for Adingra to get in behind, because there were a few times where he could have gone in behind, which is why they ultimately settled for the draw in the end, because they didn't quite kind of want to allow that outlet. I just found it weird to me that they would let him go. Like, something must have been going on behind the scenes there. That it just might not have just been a good fit. Maybe he,
maybe he wanted to start.
know.
Maybe he was like, "Look, I deserve, to be a starter." And
he's outside of Brobby. I would say, even including Brobby, for me, he's the most Premier League proven.
Oh yeah,
best attacker that they had at all. Why is he not even starting?
It's interesting. I think maybe it might be just a manager has his favorites kind of thing. I'm not sure. Like I say, it's a little confusing to me that they would do that. But also, they're not desperate. They're in 10th, cruising. Yeah. They're obviously they're on 36 points. Like 40 is the magic number, right? And they're already at 36. Sunderland
with Wolves on 8, and
there's no way they're
West
gonna,
Ham on 20, and
Sunderland here to stay, man.
40 is well above making it safe.
Is it actually that big of a loss? I mean, I think it's a hindrance to the team, but like I say, they're comfortable. They're comfortable, man.
The biggest loss obviously is Grant Xhaka. That's the level.
That's why I said barbecue chicken. You're away without, and to be honest, given the context of the game, right? Like, first of all, our last home Premier League game was that disaster class at Manchester United. So the players are going to have to, they have something to prove. This is your first league game home after that Manchester United performance, so it means something. That Sunderland's just a bad team away, and they're playing without Xhaka. I'm sorry, they're gonna turn it up. I don't think they need to turn it up that much to beat this team, but the fact that I know that they are going to turn it up tells me that we're going to press the shit out of them, and we're just gonna.
That's what's required.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. It might be off a set piece, it might be off second phase or third phase of a set piece, whatever it's gonna be. I just can't see, unless Arteta literally lied when he said, go out there and play and enjoy yourself. I just can't see us.
I don't think he did though. Based off of the way
I just don't.
He went out in the game since then.
Yeah, I just don't.
The Chelsea one is different. He didn't have to express himself. We didn't. It was the one game where we didn't have pressure to go out and score. So
Well, let me ask you this. I'm confused because I haven't really looked into it. Is Odegaard out? Is he in? Is he available? Is
you
he
want to get
not?
into conspiracy theory here? Because me and Cal kind of.
I listened to the press conference, and I still don't know.
So this is what I feel. And I was watching Cecil and one of his podcasts on AFTV. And this is actually something I thought about this before, but when Cecil said it, it really hit home a lot more to me, which is Arteta right now, where we are in this season, he knows, he's very aware of the fact that every decision he makes, especially as the manager of Arsenal, where we have a target on our back, everything is going to try to be used as fuel in the media, try to kind of undermine and what we're achieving this year and kind of throw us off. I think that by merit, Odegaard does not deserve to start, and I think Arteta's starting to feel that way himself. And he already had gone in that Leeds game and started Odegaard off from the bench. I think that if we then play that next game and Odegaard was on the bench again against Chelsea, and let's say he was on the bench again
He
against
wasn't.
Sunderland.
He wasn't on the bench for
Right.
Chelsea. He wasn't there.
That's the second next part of my point. So he was given an injury designation without an injury labeled, without a body part. We didn't get any sort of diagnosis. That tells me, and that's what Cecil is kind of thinking, that he is saying that he is injured to save face. So instead of being like, oh, Arteta has dropped this captain Odegaard for 2 or 3 straight games, it is now, well, Odegaard is now out injured. And that's kind of what I feel is going on right now, because if he was on the bench for that game and this one as well, I think that there would have been, a lot of headlines being written. I think he's trying to avoid that at the moment at all costs.
I expected him to play versus Chelsea. I
predicted he would start against Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
And the reason I ask is because if he's available, I expect him to start versus Sunderland. But if he's not available, I think we might see Havertz again, just for a different view of the press, because we changed up the way Havertz doesn't press in the 10 like Odegaard does. When Eze plays the 10, he's far more akin to how Odegaard plays the 10. When Havertz played it versus Leeds, it was a real different look. And so I think if we give that to Sunderland, we could smash them.
Yeah. I think we might go with Havertz and Eze again.
Yeah.
Because there is literally no reason to place Declan Rice and Zubimendi in that game.
One of those guys needs a rest for sure.
There's no reason. Sunderland, there's no reason to play both.
I would keep Rice and rest Zubi.
Come on, Anton. Be really?
No.
There's no way agree. we need 2 DMs. Well, they're not DMs, but they're defensively minded.
So you're saying Rice and Havertz and Eze in the middle?
No, I'm saying Havertz, Eze in the middle. Trossard because Martinelli. Yeah, Trossard. Yeah, I think we should just go all out. I think we should go honestly. Eze Havertz, Gyökeres, Madueke, Trossard, and then we go Ben White and Calafiori.
Yeah. Well, by the way, the name of the new Sunderland edition, his name is where does they say? Okay, I found it again. Nielsen Angulo, who was a first timer. So I'm not quite sure if he's going to be starting out on that side. There, they got Mayenda as well, but I think this is one of those games where, I think you could probably go with Ben White without really worrying about the threat in. But look,
I thought Timber was injured.
Angulo might come. Fine. Yeah, but still, if we're in that scenario, I would rather not risk Timber. We do have a big away game then on the Friday against Brentford. Again, I was saying this on our last pod, and everybody in our chat was laughing at me about saying, I really, really think this Sunderland game is really big. Let's not, we don't
want to deflate the bubble after going to the final.
No, but the other thing is that let's fucking take this opportunity to go 9 points clear. Let's do the last time we had this scenario, we played Sunderland, these two teams played each other. We drew. That was the one part in the season where everybody were like, whoa, okay, Arsenal's not as perfect as ever you think. Because remember, we were on a historic run of clean sheets heading into that game as well.
And then we had to hold that for 2 weeks.
We had to hold. Yeah, exactly. We had to. But then the next day, City went and destroyed Liverpool at home. And all of a sudden, it was like, hey, man, I had to sit here, with our potential, I think he went to sleep, guest and Negative Dan. And they're all both like, oh, I don't know. We have a title race, ladies and gentlemen, and Cal was also kind of, no, this City team, we have to be really wary of this City team, right?
Yeah.
That's where it all started. And for me, we got to right the wrongs of that in this time.
I don't even
now
think
it's even a better time to do
honestly,
it because we're later.
I don't think you're so riled up. I don't think you need to be this riled up.
No, but what I'm to land the plane here, which is this time we have that same kind of scenario. I think that time could have put us 8 points clear had we won. But in this scenario, we would be 13 games left. Let's take the 3 points. Let's put the pressure on City in that next game and kick our feet up at home. You know,
Yes.
like take it. We every single time, every opportunity we've had to really put both hands kind of around the neck, we've been very kind of nice.
Here's the difference, though, Anton. Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference, though. The last two times we had this opportunity like this, where it worked out like this, we played after City.
Yeah, exactly.
When we drew to Liverpool, it was after City. When we drew to Forest, it was after City. Now we play before them. And every time this season we've played before them, we have gone and put the pressure on them.
Well, with the exception of
like
Sunderland.
the circumstances, this is literally the one of the most pressureless circumstances this team has had to go up.
Not for me.
A huge amount.
Because I want to see them do it. They haven't done it yet.
No,
they haven't. They
like
have not put the throat,
Anton,
the
wait,
on the throat.
let me finish.
Sorry,
I'm saying the reason why it's the least pressure is because, first of all, we're just coming off the high of making the final. First of all, so we did our business. We're playing first. We're playing a team without Xhaka, who has one of the worst,
away records.
We already have faced the adversity of not taking the game by the scruff of the neck against United. The team has already gotten that spanking. They've already learned that lesson. I just don't believe that this is this pressure game where, oh man, we must. Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's it's going to happen. This isn't like a situation where we're playing, I don't know, we're playing City at home and they've just won 2 games and they're catching up to us, so we have to kind of palm them away and the pressure's on and we must show this grit. It's like, dude, it's like the team is we have a really good team. He said he was going to play attacking football. He has, and unless you actually don't believe, unless you feel like you need the players to change something, I don't understand why you'd be this riled up. You don't need to get this riled up.
This is why, because
this is a gimme.
Having done these shows and covered this season the way I have the whole year, I've learned to have to kind of look at both scenarios and what I have to prepare for from the other side, because this is what happens if we fail to win this game. Number one, I'm sitting there talking to my good friends here, to my left and right, and both of you guys will be like, oh man, we've shown that we don't have what it takes. This is ridiculous. Why couldn't we beat Sunderland at home? All this stuff. And then let's say City go ahead, they do the impossible, because Cal said, you said it, if City do go to Anfield and win, man, they're really showing up and they're showing, themselves up in this title race and they're making a statement. All of a sudden, let's say that league cuts to
but
4
to be
or
honest,
3 points.
If that were to happen, we wouldn't be
the voltage of making a cup final themselves, as well as going to Anfield and winning. And all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh wow, here come Manchester City again. You Arsenal didn't take their chance.
Dude,
this is why it's
our league form.
This is why the pressure is on.
The league form right now is 1 win, 2 draws, a loss, and then another win. If we lose or draw again, then it's our league form is actually pretty terrible. In terms of saying that is
therefore there's pressure to win this game.
No, there's no pressure to win.
I don't think there's any more pressure than there is to win any other Premier League game.
Exactly.
Honestly.
It's not like this. It's not like a melting pot.
I understand where the confidence comes from, because I'm confident as well. What you're saying, Cal, we don't need to change anything. We don't need to change anything at all. If we do exactly what we did versus Leeds, which is make the goalkeeper hit it long, win a second ball, and then with Eze and Havertz being in the midfield, supposing that does happen, we're going to get quicker, more vertical passing. And if we don't let Sunderland get set, we can devastate them. If we play at our tip-top as good as we can, and Sunderland play at their tip-top as good as they can, we still smoke them. But we do have to be locked in. I'm not saying it's just a throwaway game or whatever. There's
Yeah.
no more pressure on it than there is any other game. But I think, I'm very confident as well. I think if we do go out there and just do what we have been doing, I think we'll blow them away.
I think that Leeds
look,
game was
I
way
think
more
so
pressure.
too.
Way more pressure
Yeah,
on that,
I agree
for
with
that
that.
Leeds game. And we went up there and we slapped them 4-0. Like at home to Sunderland, after you just, beat Chelsea in a cup game, everyone's feeling good. Like every time we don't win games, it's because we don't play with freedom. Every single time we drop points, it's because we climb up, and we get into a shell. And whether that be the manager or the players or whoever you want to blame, that's what happens when we drop points. The reason why I'm saying there's no pressure is that, holy shit, like if you're climbing up against this Sunderland team, like at home after coming off such a high, then like what you're gonna do in the final or the Champions League. And I don't believe that's this team. I don't believe that they're gonna climb
from that
up.
point of view, I agree with you 100%. But I'm just
Because
saying,
the only reason that we don't win this game is if we climb
pick
up.
up all 3 points.
Yeah. And we only, like, if there's a lot of pressure, I can see us climbing up a bit, but come on, like this is, and we play first. Like,
I'm not.
What I mean by pressure is that I don't. What I mean by pressure is that if we drop points in this game, I am furious.
Yeah,
I think we all be.
I'm furious when we drop points. Full stop.
Yeah.
No, but there are some games where we drop points, and I've be able to come on afterwards and be like, look, we're still X amount of points ahead. We're still, like the Forest game, I was the one who was like, right, we're still 7 points ahead. That's our biggest lead we've had all year.
I was so mad.
Yeah, but
I was angry at the Forest result than the Manchester United result.
No, I was angry at the Manchester United result.
Nah, dude. I was defeated after the Man U result. My match reaction, I was like this.
Yeah.
I was in a hoodie with shades on the terrace.
Yeah.
I looked like I would
answer for the smoke you were given before that game.
Yeah, I know. Oh, the smoke I was giving at halftime in that game. Yeah. Sometimes I learned. Don't battle against Terry Flores in the chat.
But how everybody's been saying, a lot of people have been saying the only team that can beat Arsenal to this title is Arsenal. That we can only beat ourselves up. And if we
beat Arsenal to the title, we're still winning the title.
Well, you know what I mean. The only thing that can stand in our way is like we could be our own downfall or whatever.
Which is why I want to make sure that we take advantage of this.
If we start heaping pressure on Sunderland at home, I think that's getting back into our old ways of a little bit panicky.
We got Declan Rice. Hey,
see what's up.
Commiserations for that game, by the way. That was not a good game to watch. Against Manchester City.
Oh, is that a Newcastle? Yeah,
I'm guessing Mama Flossie is wanting to see an Arsenal win this weekend too, considering our opponents. So.
Yeah, Sunderland. I know Ash is definitely going to be rooting for us, and
I feel like I've turned Ash against wanting us to win any game ever.
Yeah, because you keep going for the throat every time you talk to him. What I was gonna say is predictions for the game.
Well, me and you already made ours yesterday.
I can't even remember what I said. I think it's gonna be a 3-0. Yeah.
I'm thinking because we're not gonna, because I don't think Odegaard's gonna play. I think that we're probably gonna see. I would love to see that as a Havertz combo. But regardless, I think there will be freedom, and I think we are going to press them to death. I'm confident, man. 2-0, maybe even 3-0.
Yeah. Well, I went for a 3-1 in this game in my prediction, so I'm going to have to kind of stick to that because it was on the same network. So sometimes when I go into other people's shows, I'll tinker around with the different types of score lines, but because it's my show, I've already said on one video, which was less than 12 hours ago, 3-1. I'm not going to change my mind within 12 hours. It's like, oh, I slept. I had a dream, and in my dream, we kept a clean sheet. No, it's 3-1. I have.
And now to the real thriller of the weekend. Manchester City versus Liverpool. In my opinion, I think it's going to be Liverpool are going to see a lot of joy, to be honest, in this game. I think they're kind of ramping up in form. And I think I predicted a 4-2 to to Liverpool. I do think Liverpool are gonna leak, because I do rate Manchester City's attack. But honestly, I just can't see a world where City gets anything out of this game. Maybe a draw, maybe if Liverpool just aren't on it. But honestly, I really feel like Liverpool's just gonna win this game.
I think it's gonna be a very interesting one. Yeah. Or go ahead, Anton.
Okay, now for me, I think this is I feel like if we win first, I feel like Liverpool are then winning 100%. Like I feel like seeing that gap go to 9 this year, the way that City's run has been recently, this just seems like a team that's maybe winning, the way they did against Newcastle has given them an extra charge in energy. We'll have to go ahead and see, but it didn't help the first time because, they beat Newcastle away from home and then turned around and went to Old Trafford and got smoked. So I feel like this is more of a mentality game than anything else. I think that Liverpool at home is one of if not the hardest stadium to go ahead and get wins in. A lot of people have, but I'm talking about for the big teams in terms of the way that stadium gets up. By the way, Liverpool, again, I feel like they've also had reignited a little bit. That Newcastle win for them, by the way, with a whole week's rest. So they're also going to be a lot more energized going into this one too. Haaland hasn't been on form recently as well. So maybe he's due one, maybe. But I'm curious because we were talking to Ram yesterday about this game, and he just kind of feels like that when it comes to these games versus when they're playing a game like ours, Sunderland, Slot is a lot more well equipped to deal well with these games, and he's going to probably have something for Manchester City. Like he had something
turn up
for
against
us.
the bigger teams. It's just it's just those pesky low blocks, and even if Pep attempts a low block, it's not going to be a very good one.
Yeah,
it'll be very interesting. The
personnel.
I
don't know. I might be wrong, and this might come back to bite me, and you can clip me up when we come back after this game if I'm wrong, but I just don't see a way City are winning this game.
I think Gravenberch, if he plays Gravenberch and Slobosly in that midfield, I
want Gravenberch.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, because their defenders are we might see Sloppy Sly in the right back, and it might be McAllister and Gravenberch in the middle.
Oh, okay. It's still, to be honest, I still rate Liverpool's midfield more than I rate City's midfield.
Well, at the moment, City's midfield, Rodri right now is a shadow of himself. As I'm saying, Reinders is a great player with the ball at his feet and going forward, but defensively in the Premier League this year, he's struggled and he's been ran through, which is why a lot of the times that Reinders hasn't been in favor from Pep in some of these Premier League games from the start for that reason. And yeah, I don't even see it. McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz has been in great form, by the way. If I'm going to get on his back when he was 007 it, he's been on great form recently, and I'm going to prop him up for that as well. Because honestly, I'm a massive, as much as he's a Liverpool fan, I'm a massive Florian Wirtz fan. Like I've loved watching him ever since he was in the Bundesliga. So I think that he's going to carry a massive threat as well. And I think Mo Salah could be licking his lips at this game. Like I know
Salah's been so bad.
Yeah, I know,
this
but
season
you know what?
He
still is a great player, and I do think what City's defense has shown you since the start of 2026, that's exactly the type of defense. That high line is what Mo Salah feeds off of. He would love that, and Ekitike, the way he just destroyed Newcastle almost on his own. He turned that game around by himself. And his burst of pace and his
it's like that high line against Ekitike. And to be honest with you, I don't know if, let's say Pep for some reason doesn't play the high line, but tells his players not to play a high line against Liverpool. Are they equipped to turn it off? If you're playing a certain way the entire season, can you just
if it's Ruben Diaz, he's got the experience, and then Mark Gahey, I think he can.
Ruben Diaz isn't fit now.
He was on the bench for the City game or for the Newcastle game. He was on the bench.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but also I think that if you look at how Liverpool played through us in the first half at the Emirates.
Second half.
Well, we kind of let them in the second half because, in my opinion, that it's a whole thing because they played through us so well in the first half. I feel like Arteta got scared, and then we let them because we dropped off a whole bunch in that second half. But anyway, if they do what they did at both halves of that game, where they were getting the ball to Gravenberch on the opposite side of our press. Yeah. When they got it on the opposite side of where Odegaard was pressing, we were so vulnerable. And if they can manage to do that as well, like if they can manage to do that, look out.
Yeah, he's dribbling, but he's dribbling between us, like, and our players don't get dribbled past, like they don't.
If he can find that same space, and they do play the high line, woof. It could be a cricket score.
I honestly think Liverpool's midfield are just better than Manchester City's, because while Manchester City might have some really good players on the ball, Liverpool players are good on ball and off ball. Like, honestly. And I don't think Liverpool, a lot of the Liverpool fans kind of understand like how good their players are off ball. Some of their players would probably come into our team and play well. Like Szoboszlai would, as an 8 for us, would do very well.
I would love to have him. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? McAllister would do
first choice, even though he's been their best player this season.
Yeah,
I believe in Slot's brain. If they were fully fit, I don't think he would be first choice for them. So why not be in a similar position for Arsenal? It'd be a great alternative to Rice. Although I don't think that Liverpool's ever selling that's their player.
Like, why I like Liverpool's midfield is because they have an engine. You know, they can run. You know, they can cover the spaces and they're technical. So I think that's why I'm expecting big things from them next season, and I'm expecting big things from them in the Champions League. But if they play to their level and Slot doesn't completely just decide to like just do something crazy, which is, I think a lot of Liverpool fans are afraid of that happening. But like, dude, just play normal football and you guys win. Like, honest to God, like just
tell Ekitike,
bro.
Just tell Ekitike to do the Firmino thing and drop deep, because runners from deep break high lines, right? So if he's going to play that high line, just have Ekitike check really far back, and Gravenberch is through all day. Short, long with McAllister, and whoever's running through from the midfield will break the high line, and it'll be like when Ange went down to 9 players versus Chelsea, and it was breakaway after breakaway after breakaway after breakaway after breakaway. Like, I would love to see that. I think it's going to be basketball. I think it's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's either going to be. I think it's going to be one of two extremes. I don't think there's any middle in between. It's either basketball or it's defense.
Stinker.
As hell.
But I don't think Manchester City can do stinker. I just don't think they're capable of that.
One thing I'd be very interesting. I was actually thinking this since Jake mentioned about Diaz's fitness, because honestly, I haven't been paying attention. I thought that he would be gone for about 3 months. I didn't realize he backed this quick.
Oh no. Yeah. It's Gvardiol who's
Gvardiol's out.
I'm saying this right now because I've had this inkling, and I've said this a couple times, which is that Man City's offensive issues are not necessarily personnel-wise, although I keep making fun of Max Lane all the time, almost every show. But if they actually had Guehi and Diaz as a partnership in this one, and they still are looking fragile defensively, I think for me that makes me even more confident moving forward in this league, because that tells you that's 100% systematic and not personnel. That they could have anybody play in defense, and
I mean, we saw Guehi versus Tottenham. What happened?
Right. No, 100%.
Well, the thing is, I asked my buddy Nez, my Man City fan, on my panel about it, and if Guehi would make Pep stop playing the high line, and he shook his head and was like, "Stubbornness, no." And I don't think Guehi is necessarily that guy.
Guehi doesn't play that. When he played for Southgate, we like to play sit back, drop deep. Yeah. When he plays for Glasner, the same thing. In fact, with Glasner, he sat in a back 3.
And England don't do that. England don't play that.
I don't know if he knows how to defend in spaces like Saliba and Gabriel. I don't know. Like like they've been training to do that for years. It's like it's only in the last couple of seasons Gabriel has kind of learned how to do that. Saliba's like a genius, so he kind of was doing that from the start.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah. So I think it's going to take at least a season before Gehi learns how to play with a possession dominant team. Honestly, I think him being the savior is a myth.
I mean, think about it from an England point of view, though. It's actually good that he can maybe kind of take 6 months to learn that before we head into the World Cup, because the way the England's going to have to probably set up in this World Cup is going to be a possession and dominant team in terms of the personnel. So maybe from that point of view, it's actually kind of a benefit that he gets to kind of play in this Man City team. But yeah, it's going to take, I think I agree, it's going to take a while. It
certainly ain't going to mesh at Anfield.
I don't think you go away to Anfield and then you put together like this imperious performance.
I would be shocked if Ruben Diaz came straight into that one too after only being on the bench for one game. Kusanov is playing well.
Yeah, I think that'd be a bit of a nightmare.
What's your definition of playing well? They've been leaking goals left, right, and center. But
no, Kusanov has actually not been bad. I think it's a system
like as an individual. Yeah,
he's
got the speed to play the high line. Kusanov does.
Yeah, he does for sure. I mean, the player that this system is built for is Josko Gvardiol, who's got great recovery pace and can defend in space.
Mickey van der Ven.
I would hate to see him at
I would hate that too, but he's got the speed.
Yeah, and that's what they need. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay,
score predictions. Ship.
Score predictions for the game.
3-2 Liverpool.
I went 2-1 Liverpool. That was my prediction.
I went 4-2 because I just think Ekitike is gonna probably score a brace, honestly, against the City team. Getting into the final topic.
No, back to the betting. One more thing. I would bet if Man City score to beat Anton Semenyo because he's almost ticking along so nicely. He's almost scoring a goal every game. So.
I'd actually think he's going to score instead of Haaland.
I mean, there was a time where Erling Haaland to score was the surefire bet, but that's long gone now.
Yeah, I haven't even checked my my fantasy league stuff. Haaland's been sitting there for weeks, probably not doing anything as my captain.
Right.
Okay, the last topic, which you're gonna love this one, Jake. How many trophies do you think we will win realistically this season? Realistically,
I want Jake to answer this one first because we'll go back to that reel. I want you to open up that can of worms on that reel.
Realistically,
really tell me why. You said what you said, and if you're willing to kind of back that up now here when you're talking about your own team and break that down for me a little bit.
Well, I'm never going to be just right out the rip. I'll tell you, like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. And I'm here to admit it. I'm not one of those that I have to be right and I'll dance around my answer just because I'm wrong. And now I have to figure out a way to not be. That's not me, So if it turns out that we do win a quad, I'll obviously be in dreamland and I'll hold it all and I'll be happy to be wrong. But what I was saying in that is I think it's damn near impossible to play your best team in every competition, in every single game. And so, especially like when we start playing FA Cup on the weekend, Champions League quarterfinal, Carabao Cup final, Champions League quarterfinal, back to back to back to back, that's when we're really going to see Arteta's squad management powers and how he's learned, because you just have to rotate. And yes, Andrea Berta has saved our life. He's come in and changed everybody's lives. And we do have a squad that can make an attempt at going at all 4 trophies. But we're just going to have to rotate. Like, it's not going to be the best team against Wigan. It's just not going to be, straight up. And we all know it, and it has to be that way. Like, if I see Declan Rice even dressed for Wigan Athletic, I'll be upset. We have to rest. We have to rest. You know what I mean? Like, and because we have to play our best teams in the biggest trophies. And yeah, we've made it to the Carabao Cup final, and that's one extra game that our best team should be playing, in my opinion. And that, and we've gotten to that point, and we're blessed to be there, of course. But I think this year, the FA Cup might be a weekend side in each game, unless like it's Man City in the round of 16, like in the next round, but if it's Fulham, there's going to be more rotation. So to answer your question, I think we're going to win 2 trophies. The Champions League is kind of like that's the unicorn, man. That's the white whale. That's the Moby Dick, and I think the bread and butter, and I think Arteta knows this, win that league. And with that in our pocket, because it took Man City how many tries once they got to their pump to actually win the Champions League? I mean, they went to a final and lost before they won it, and so we've done everything they did in that run except go to the final and lose. And no, obviously I want to be able to skip that step, obviously. But for me, I think I'm finally convinced that we're going to get the Prem over the line, and I think we're going to win the Carabao Cup. So I'm going to answer with two trophies this season. And maybe the Champions League, we definitely have a shot at it, but it's a crapshoot in that.
The thing is that everything is in the Champions League is set in our favor because the fact that we finished top in the group, like everything in terms of the fixtures. So I've mentioned this a few times that the UEFA, I guess, I don't know if it was a collaboration between UEFA and the Prem or whatever, how it is that way, but they basically made it so that when we play away from home, that first leg in the Champions League, our next game in the Premier League is a home game. So,
really?
Yes, you don't play away.
That's good.
Yeah, so that is kind of line up in our favor in that regard. Also, by the way, because in the draws in the Champions League are a lot less spontaneous as they used to be now. It's mostly seeded.
Do they do a redraw at a certain point?
So this is exactly how it's going to be. At the end of this playoff round, whoever comes out of that, they're going to do a draw for the round of 16 at the round of 16 stage. They basically, maybe I could pull up the UEFA.
Isn't that the one that makes the bracket? So the next draw will be the last one, and it makes the bracket, and it will put us on the left or the right side of the bracket. Yeah, is what I think how it goes.
I'm just going to bring it up onto the screen here. I want to do a bit of a screen share in terms of because
it's still on. We might play Leverkusen, we might play Dortmund, we might play one of 4 teams.
Yeah,
so it's still at that stage. Yeah.
All right. So this is, let's. How do I do this?
And Bayern are in that same boat, right?
Here we go. Okay, got it. I got it in there. So yeah, this is kind of the way that it is, right? So at that round of 16, you say Barca 5 or Chelsea 6, Arsenal 1, Bayern 2, Liverpool or Tottenham, right? So basically the results of these playoff games are going to go through, and then those teams are going to get drawn against either one of us or Bayern, City or Sporting, Tottenham or Liverpool, Chelsea or Barca. And depending on what that is, that will determine both sides of the bracket and is fixed for the rest of it. So you would actually know your entire path to the final after that draw. So for me, best case scenario, right, is that Arsenal will get,
Olympiacos.
We get Olympiacos, and then we Sporting. Then we get drawn on Sporting as our next opponent. So they do both. So you would find out if it's Sporting or Man City that are on this side of the draw. And let's say it's Sporting, right? That's my best case scenario.
So there's a chance we actually get Man City instead.
Yeah.
Or Real Madrid.
Or Inter, because if Inter beat Bodo and then beat Man City and they're on our side of the group.
That too.
I'm going to talk about the quarterfinal.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about as well.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Inter they're in the play.
So if Man City is on our side, but Inter beat Bodo and then beat City, we'd play Inter. If obviously that's the side we also got.
It also could be Real Madrid against Sporting or Inter against Sporting. Benfica against Sporting would be fucking tasty, and I would take the winner of that in a heartbeat if that would be the case.
We could also
Benfica are garbage though; they're not going to win.
We could get Leverkusen in the round of 16. To be honest,
I wouldn't mind that.
I would love, by the way, to beat Mourinho on the way to a championship.
I would love that too.
I know he's like so far gone off of the Jose that we used to go up against all the time, but just for sentimental value, just
for beating Wenger in his 1000th game or whatever, man. Just for that. Let's get revenge for that.
Specialist in failure label that he gave us. If we actually were to beat him to advance to a semifinal of the Champions League, would just be nice.
Yeah. Mad respect, but like always an op.
They would have a long way to get to us. They would have to beat City. They have to beat Real Madrid, and then potentially City or Sporting or Inter. No, not Inter. City or Sporting to get to us. So I don't think that would happen. But
hey, man, don't count out Santa Claus and the boys. Bodo Gimps, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jake, so you were saying realistically the Carabao in the league.
I think those are the most realistic targets. Yeah. That we should be able to get over the line.
I think for me, given the fact that the Carabao already in a final, I have to include that as one of the trophies. And I think we'll come back see on the next show and see how these results unfolded. But I've got something to say if they go the way that I think that they're going to go, and I think we're going to be in a really. I'm going to say this right now. If we go 9 points clear at the end of the weekend, I'm sorry to everybody who has got all the PTSD, and I'm going to trigger them. I'm calling it like in the presidential election. We are calling the state of the Premier League for Arsenal,
right?
Even though it's not mathematically done
or whatever. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. That's kind of the way I'd feel about that. So I think almost by default, I'm saying 2 as a base at this point, and. That from that point, let's see what we do in the Champions League.
No, the question I asked, that's not what I asked.
How many are we going to win?
Everyone can say, "Let's see what we do." I'm asking you.
Look, from the start of the year.
What do you think?
From the start of the year.
Right now at the end of the year, what do you think? How many trophies do you think we're going to hold? Don't give me. We'll see. We have a chance because I think we have a chance in all cups, but that's not what I'm asking.
The thing is, I have always said from the start that I think we're the best team in Europe. So that by that logic, while they are teams I would like to avoid, I don't fear anybody right now, which is an amazing place to be as an Arsenal fan. So I'm going to say a treble because in the FA Cup, it's going to be so unpredictable. I have no idea. We could, after beating,
so baby treble.
As long as the FA Cup is so premature. We're only played one round of that. As long as we avoid a big hitter all of a sudden, because to Jake's point.
Well, we've played City, Liverpool, and United in back-to-back.
If we play, for instance, in this cup, right, it wasn't until Chelsea in the semifinal that we played a real big, serious team in the Carabao Cup, which played to our advantage because we were able to rotate for all those other games. Yeah. Like Crystal Palace, even as well. Like if you recall, Declan Rice didn't even start that game. He had to come on later on.
That's because I got Anton to talk. Welcome
to the right place.
To Buy Them Cannons podcast. You came at the right time. Iron Fire.
Perfect time.
Make sure you're liking and subscribing.
Make sure you're liking
to the channel. Buddy. Based off that, I gave you a treat. But
this is perfect.
That was the best timing ever. You couldn't have come in. That's the best timing ever.
By the way, I if the treble includes the Carabao Cup, though, I want a quad because I know that Man United fans and City fans
what you want.
Your treble
The question was
ours included the FA Cup. It's not proper treble.
Dude,
I answered. I said 3.
So you think Carabao Cup, realistically, Carabao Cup, the league and the Champions League?
Yes. And the FA Cup
personally, TBA. I think realistically, I'm with Jake here. I think it's just going to be the Carabao Cup and the league. I think we're gonna try really hard in the champs. I don't know. To be honest with you, it's
that
honestly winning the league for the first time in 20 years and winning the Champions League.
This is the advantage we've got.
You're interrupting me. Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Right? Winning the league for the first time in 20 years then winning the Champions League for the first time in our history in the same season, while also winning the Carabao Cup
After winning the Carabao Cup.
1992. I'm sorry. That's
I call this London bus.
Yeah.
Finish, please. Let me finish. I'm saying, realistically, I think the FA Cup, we're gonna throw that into the that's gonna be on the altar, because I just don't think we have enough. No one has enough to like just to go this hard, at this point. I feel like that's going to be the sacrificial lamb. We have a lot of squad depth, so we might just win off the back of our squad depth alone. But that's going to be big rotations.
That's why I'm saying that the draws in the cup are important. So right now we've played, Portsmouth, then we've played Wigan. We can rotate in those games. If we play in the next round, in the fifth round of the cup, and we get another team that from the Championship or from League Two, or even a lower Premier League team, you can rotate for that as well. So it's sacrificial lamb if all of a sudden we, here you're drawing against Liverpool in the fifth round of the FA Cup, and then you'd be like, all right, damn, I'm not, I'm
at
really
Anfield.
may have to just, or something like that.
Even a normal
case,
Prem team, to be honest.
Wolves are out.
Wolves are out.
We could rotate and lose to a Prem team. That's on the cards, And I just don't think
and beat Prem teams in the cup. We did it against Crystal Palace.
I know that, but I'm not like the idea that we're just going to roll every team we rotate against in the FA Cup when we're probably going to be in the later stages of the Champions League and in the title race. It's like mental fatigue is also a thing. It's not just about the physical attributes. Mentally, if we're like banging we pick up a tough, we pick up Inter in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I'm sorry, that's mentally draining. Then we have to play we have to play in the league, which is always going to be draining.
Oh, right. We fully rotated and beat Inter. Scored 3 past Inter.
I know. It's the quarterfinals.
That game didn't matter.
What I'm saying is, right, but we rotated mostly for that game.
Yeah, but a Champions League knockout game at the San Siro, bro, that's a different story.
Mentally, it's a different thing. It's a different thing mentally for the players. So I think realistically, we win the Carabao Cup and we win the league. I honestly think if we lose the Carabao Cup, I think we probably go a little bit hard in the FA just to prove a point. Maybe at our detriment. But yeah.
Yeah. Look,
I think too. You think baby trouble? You think baby trouble? I think baby double.
The fact that we are right, number one, the Carabao Cup for me is one game that happens in a month and a half. So that for me isn't even a balancing act at all. Because as well, by the way, we had Wolves has been a game that's been rearranged, and they've been able to play it. I would think we're going to play Wolves around the time that everybody else is playing. I think we're playing them the 19th of February, by the way, after the FA Cup game. So we'll have Brentford. We'll be able to rotate for the FA Cup game. Then we'll be able to play Wolves and then Tottenham at the weekend later. That's 4 days later.
Yeah.
So in terms of that cup game, it's been arranged to be on the 22nd of March, which is a full week after we play Everton, and then after that, we go into an international break. We don't play Bournemouth until the 12th of April. So,
is there not a Champions League game in there?
No.
Before the Carabao?
No. Well, we don't have a Champions League game.
I haven't looked at the schedule. I haven't looked at the champ schedule.
Oh, right. We might have a Champions League game before that because the last 16, I think we have.
I'm not even sure what the dates on those are.
I think around the 10th or the 10th or the 11th. The 17th or the 18th of March, I think are the dates for the last 16. So yeah, there is that in there. True.
Anfar says back-to-back fixtures is going to suck if we want to get deep both into champs and FA Cup. FA Cup, even in the quarters or semis, I'd even have kept a start just to fully rotate with Mascara and Norgard. And I 100% agree with you. I'm sorry, but we cannot play our strongest squad every single game, even if we're in the later stages of the FA Cup.
If you're in the semifinals of the FA Cup is a little bit. The FA Cup, they rearrange fixtures when you make semifinal like we just did the final. They will rearrange the Premier League fixtures in that way. So we're in the semifinal, the cup are at Wembley. There's no way I'm starting with Mosquera and Norgard in the center back. I think
you might just have to
easy to
risk it
say
for the
that.
biscuit
Nah,
at that
It's
point.
yeah,
easy to say that
you gotta use
now.
the squad. You might have to just
It's
use
easy
the
to
squad.
say that. That's one thing using the squad. The other thing is going bare bones.
You
to
don't like
having
how is Mosquera
Norgard
and
in center-
Norgard bare
Norgard
bones?
Norgard starting at center back is bare bones for me right now.
No,
We
I
have
wouldn't
all
start him as
8
center
not
back.
at center
I would-
back.
I just like as a DM.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he
Great
meant,
again. Nah, I mean we like all our center backs are fit. Like every
Yeah,
single
everyone's
one.
good.
Yeah. No, because I just thought, by the way, Iron.
I mean,
because
Calafiore and
Mosquera
Mosquera is a fine center back pairing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
but
a
look,
FA Cup game.
I think we have to kind of just see where we're at in each of these scenarios.
Yeah.
And for me right now, like again, the FA Cup for me is the least likely, and I'm not even talking about semifinals because you have to get to the 5th round and the quarterfinal, and who knows what team is waiting for us in those rounds.
Mm.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm sorry, I got you. The boys got you.
Yep.
But no, my main premise though is the fact that I think we have the advantage, if this weekend goes the way that we have, of having a real big padded
No, but that's
lead in the Premier League.
That's what's going to help us if we want to, go harder in the champs as well. Because if we have a 9-point gap and we maintain that, by the time we're in the quarterfinals, we can actually rotate in the league and go harder in the champs because we have a buffer.
I think why this weekend is so big to me, because it puts us in a position to be able to go hard at everything. That's why it's like a lot of people think that, hey, I want the league wrapped up and done. I'm desperate to kind of call it done. Although, I told you months ago that we were winning this, regardless of how many the point total was. But the main reason why I want it, like this in February is so that we have the flexibility to go for as many trophies as we can. So for the cup, again, they've already kind of arranged the fixtures where both us and City can go strong as possible available in that cup for the entertainment purposes. Obviously, that's why they do that. And then in terms of the Champions League is the Champions League. I'm always prioritizing my best teams in that knockout competition. FA Cup, again, is the one that is last on the priority list at this point. And if the draws go in the right direction, guys, and we start remaking into that, I'm gonna go back to this. Sorry, Iron Fire, I know. But in this scenario where we are in an FA Cup semifinal, we're talking about an FA Cup semifinal at Wembley. I'm on this podcast talking about quadruple, 110%, especially if we're still in the Champions League at that period of time as well.
We're talking about
that. We got to go for it all. You got to be ambitious.
We're talking about it right now.
You're trying to convince us right now. What are you talking about? FA Cup semifinal.
I do think we probably get knocked out in the FA in the early stages, though. But that's my feeling.
Do you think Wigan's beating us?
No, I think maybe the next stage.
But if we get another favorite for the tournament in the next round,
we normally aren't that lucky. That's normally City luck, because City is normally the team that coasts to finals. We usually, we get Manchester United at the first opportunity we get Liverpool at the first opportunity we get.
City
one thing we haven't had this year is like a daunting cup tie handed to us yet. Because by the time we got
we just beat Chelsea and we
when
we're getting saved it for the chance.
When you get into semifinals or finals, that's not the expectation is I'm going to have a hard opponent by the time I get there.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
I'm talking
you mean like getting a hard opponent at the early stages?
Yeah.
That might happen to the champs.
Yeah, we play Port Vale.
Yeah. Getting into the champs I think that getting into the quarterfinals is unlucky for me personally.
I think getting City in the quarterfinals is the unluckiest for me.
Yeah. Or having to go to Anfield. That would suck.
Yeah, Anfield in the quarters would be.
We can't play them in the quarters.
Of the FA Cup?
Of the Champions League, we cannot. It's
Champions League. I was thinking FA Cup. Yeah.
No. The only way we play Liverpool would be in the semifinal or the final,
which would be a nightmare, absolute nightmare.
I would rather play them in the final than the semifinal because it wouldn't be at Anfield.
What you want is
don't like Anfield.
Liverpool to be put. What you want is for Liverpool to be put on the other side of the bracket
and
With
then get
Bayern
slapped up
Munich.
by Bayern.
Yeah.
And then we play Bayern in the final. I'd rather play Bayern.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think that was the last thing on the agenda. We're almost getting to that 2 hour mark. Jake, you predicted 2 trophies, the league and
Yep.
the Carabao. I'm predicting the same thing, league and Carabao, which would be absolutely
Be
an
amazing.
amazing end to
Be
the
so
season.
awesome.
Honestly, like the league would have been fine. Imagine getting the league and the Carabao. That'd be amazing.
So sweet.
And
yeah.
Anton, we all know him, we all love him. He goes hard every single time. Baby treble. The league, the Champions League, and the Carabao Cup. But yeah,
That would be dreamland. That's dreamland stuff.
That's absolute. That's
look,
absolute.
no one
euphoria.
believes me that we would be in the position that we are now when I said it, and we are where we are. So, why have I been given any indication where I should not continue?
I think to be honest, I think we're still at a reasonable spot. Like what we're doing this season. I said at the beginning of the season, I said if we were to win it, we'd probably most likely win it by not being in a title race, by kind of going far ahead. It just felt like that was probably, if we're gonna win, that was probably going to happen. So I said that before, and I think being in the Carabao Cup final was always on the cards. I think, like, if we're 2 months from now, and let's say we won the Carabao Cup, and we're in the later stages of the champs with a big point gap, that's when you're like, okay, this is really tasty. I think right now we're still in the realms of what I thought was possible going into the season. You know what I mean? Like if we're 10 points ahead and in the semi-final of the Champions League in a couple months, then we're out even, and we already won the Carabao Cup. Then for me, that would be outside the realms of what I thought was conceivable. So, yeah. Oh, Lauren Legends says, great show. I like the new guy.
Is that your wife?
That's my wife.
Yeah.
Thanks, baby.
I like the new guy.
Kind of like him a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, quite a little bit.
Anything else anyone wanted to say before you wrap up?
No, I mean, I think as far as just in conclusion to this this kind of conversation here, like I said, I'm happy to be wrong, and if we do, if we are blessed enough to have an 11, 12 point lead, and we're playing a game, Fulham say, but we're also have Inter Milan at the weekend, then absolutely rotate in the league if we already have a 12-point lead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it starts, dizzy daydreams start coming out. You know what I mean?
Which I think is possible, just because I think City are going to drop points at a more of a rate than we are, and then once let's say we get to that 9 points, we'll be playing with the pressure like off. So I feel like we're gonna start seeing you remember at the end of in that 23-24 season, when at the end, after we came back from Dubai and we started like slapping teams 6-0, 4-0, 5-0. I think
4-0 up at West Ham in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like if this team starts playing with the pressure off because we have a big gap, that gap's gonna increase. Like when this team plays with freedom and with the pressure off, we kind of do some insane things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
JT says, did the Gunners therapy guys drop out today? Yeah, I think Positive Dan was supposed to be on, but I think he fell asleep. I think it's probably like 1 a.m.
Yeah, past midnight now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's closer to 1 a.m. now.
I imagine
it's midnight.
I imagine he just was, look, the guy's he's got kids, got a wife. Imagine, he's probably waiting. We had him to start at 10 a.m. So he could have just 10 p.m. He could have easily just fell asleep before the show even started, and we'll wake up in the morning. We're like, oh, damn it. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he'll be back. No worries. He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll back. And Luke says, come on, you Gunners. Come on, you Gunners, indeed. And with that, I think it's time we wrap up the show. And just big thanks to Jake again. Please subscribe to his channel, The Cup Chasers. And we want him as more of a regular on the Arsenal Alliance. He's an amazing guest for us, always comes in with some really good footballing opinions and adds more balance to the squad as well. And yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah, big ups to you, man.
Yeah, big ups always. Yeah, by the way, Jake is committed to this thing. He does watch-alongs for Leeds against Nottingham Forest. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I did the Atalanta Juventus game on Thursday for the
Yeah.
Coppa Italia quarterfinal, bro. Atalanta smoked
for all honesty, right?
Oh, did Juventus
up
3-0. Atalanta beat Juve 3-0. Smoked them.
Juventus is a little bit on the mud. We got to grab Yildiz off of their hands.
Grab
We
Yildiz,
should.
bro.
Yeah.
He didn't even play.
Damn.
I think he was
Well,
there.
And
yeah.
we're
Took a
on
knock.
109 subscribers as well.
We're up to, we picked up 3 subs during the stream.
I think so.
Nice.
I imagine one of them is Lauren Legends, and the other one
is Iron Fire, maybe. Iron Fire.
No, mine are already subscribed. Yeah.
Oh, who
My
killed
accounts
who
are already subscribed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No. Wow.
This is how we spend time together. Talking on YouTube.
You know what? That is love. You know, you get somebody who fully supports you and
Yeah.
loves the things
Don't
you do.
let her fool you. Go subscribe to Lauren's Legends. She's got mad content over there. Go subscribe to that. It's not football related. It's stories and stuff. But go subscribe over there too.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Big ups to Lauren Legends.
Yeah. Now, big ups every single time. But yeah, like, to be all for full discretion, to give you an example, I didn't even watch Leeds against Nottingham Forest. I was up until late recording videos, and you know, I was up with my girlfriend as well, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time I went to sleep. So I woke up for this stream. So for Jake to sit there and make live streams of Nottingham Forest against Leeds is real commitment.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You should call it obsession.
Yeah. Well, if it's one sport you want to be obsessed about, it's the football.
There you go.
Football. Support for
There
the
you go.
support. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Lauren. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Unless
and
you
now
support Spurs.
We're actually at 110 now, so it's pretty nice to get to that.
Oh,
number.
wow.
Those are
live.
fighting
Wow.
words. Don't you say anything like that, Anton.
Awesome. Alrighty. I think that should be it now. 3 minutes until the 2-hour mark. And yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. The community is growing. Thank you for being, chatting it up in the chat. We just love to see you guys part of this conversation. Big ups to Iron Fire, big ups to JT, big up to Luke, big up to Lauren. And who killed who? Who's also Lauren, I think.
That's also Lauren. Yeah.
And
subscribe there too. That's another channel she's got. Yeah.
Dark Tales in the Night, a secret admirer of the channel. Locked in. Awesome.
And of course, to our great co-host, or host of this particular episode, Cal, big ups to you. As you said, big ups to us. So
big ups.
And of course, don't forget to hit the like button. Mama Flossie also in the building as well.
Yeah, big ups to Mama.
Yeah. Our next stream, hopefully we're going to be discussing Newcastle. We're going to have to try to get together a panel for...
we already got Jesse.
Locked
in, and that's going to be I think it's on Sunday night for us.
I think it's 8 p.m. UK time. Wait, it's 8 p.m. 9 p.m. 9 a.m. UK time. Sorry,
9 a.m. UK time on Sunday
morning. So this is going to be
right before City and Pool and Liverpool.
Yeah, it'll be after we beat Sunderland. We get to preview the game and we're going to talk about Chelsea. We have
Newcastle
Jesse,
games as well.
Yeah.
They both have played overnight too.
We definitely going to be talking about Chelsea, getting Jesse on the channel, and we're hoping to get Ash, who's a Newcastle fan. You guys have been on the channel before, friend of the channel. We're going to get him here, and hopefully we could talk Newcastle. And that's going to be the first episode of one of our multi-panel shows where we're trying to get people from other clubs.
More graphics required from me. Okay.
Yeah. People from other clubs in here to talk about more general footballing topics. So yeah, that's going to be part of the trifecta of shows on the channel: the Anton and Cal show, the Arsenal Alliance with JK, and then Center Circle.
And also look at, just to cover more of our content to go out, because if you guys not noticed, this week I believe we have not missed a day without any content of any form. So first time in the history of our channel doing that. So we did fulfill the promise we gave you. Yeah, make sure you go and check out all those videos that we're posting. So me and Cal put a lot of effort, and we're going to continue to put a lot of effort in pumping out the individual videos. The only reason why I'm saying this now is because the algorithm isn't always kind of kind to those individuals. So it takes a little bit more, effort and commitment. Like our friend Jake here, who has watched every single one of those videos and commented on every single one of those videos. So
yeah, go check out Anton's tiers. Go check out Anton's tiers. He's got Burnley in a weird spot right now.
Well, you know what? Hey, if Burnley lose to West, I'll actually make a promise, right? I only have 3 cards to play in my eliminated tiers, unlike Nick, which he does eliminated from the playoffs. I just do eliminated from the Premier League.
Right.
If Burnley lose to West Ham this weekend, I think I'm going to eliminate them from the tiers because I don't see them surviving. If they
beat West Ham, then West Ham are dragged back down too.
If they beat West Ham, then my
which
tiers
I want, by the way.
accurate.
I want West Ham relegated.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. It's all right. Okay, you got me.
So yeah, I'll put the wager on there. Yeah, Burnley, you are on. Even though you're actually on the second bottom tier, you'll be eliminated from the tiers if you because that for me is like. What do you call a top? What do you call it? As well in an IQ test, a cheater.
Keep commentating.
Oh, I love that shirt. I love that shirt.
Yeah, man, we're all in over here.
I guess I know.
The
what
other
do you
thing
think?
Is, we're gonna have. We also have shorts in there. We're gonna try to clip up a lot of our individual shows as well. That we do. We're gonna do both. Cal and I will do our best as well. Always to give a match reaction in the shorts as well after the games. So go check those things out as well. And the Anton and Cal show should be out as well in the middle of the week, hopefully to be very shameless and discuss a 9-point gap at the top of the Premier League. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for another stream. Until then, guys, come on, you Gunners. Let's do this. Let's do our part. Let's beat Sunderland and go 9 points clear for the moment, at least.